Party Center Speaks podcast. This is the podcast for family entertainment center and event venue owners, operators, managers, and staffers looking to grow their business. Want to learn more about how you can increase party bookings, improve facility operations, and other topics? This is the podcast for you. My name is Laura Canillas, and I'm the marketing manager here at Party Center Software. In this episode, we're going to share audio from our webinar on how to grow your business with an online store. We hope you enjoy this presentation.
Again, thank you so much for joining us today. We are talking all things online store, how to grow your business, some tips, best practices, and advice for online sales. So thank you all for joining us. We know there are many places that you could be right now. Lots of things going on, especially it's busy season when we're talking today in December, and it's a very busy time. So I appreciate that you took the time if you're live or if you're going to watch us on demand later. Thank you for checking this out. Quick little tidbit here. If it's your first time joining us for one of our webinars, we are Party Center Software, and we're partied by our payment processing system, Party Center Pay. Our whole goal is to turn the frustration of manual processes into a phenomenal guest experience. And if you're already a customer, you already know this, that our software is going to enable you to offer online party booking, digital waivers, add a new revenue stream with online store, which is what we're talking about today, and make purchases using point of sale, manage your facility, and so forth. If you are not already connected with your CSM, we'll talk about them in a minute, but they can help you with some of this stuff if you're not too familiar. Obviously, if you're a customer, you know this. If you're not, we are in the family entertainment center industry. We love it. We love working with all types of different facilities, from arcades to trampoline parks, bowling alleys, mini golf, soft play, inflatables. We were talking to a very lovely team earlier today that has a very unique boutique type of facility for little girls to have tiara parties and tea parties and do manicures and pedicures. And that was so much fun to just talk through their processes with them. But we are much more than a software company. If you know us and you've been following for a while, you'll know we are business builders. We want to help you grow your business. That's what this webinar is all about. And that's also what our FEC Resource Center is about. Our mission is to provide helpful, timely resources to the FEC community and event community. We want to help you grow your business, improve your bottom line, train your staff, help you where you are in your business. So you may know, if you click on our website, there's a resources tab. You can grab anything from an ebook to you're joining this webinar now or watching a webinar on demand, guides, all sorts of things. Every single month and quarter, we're releasing all new content. Our blog is releasing new content 3 days a week. So that's an awesome resource too. And then we also have our PCS Academy, which was launched this year. And this academy consists of 2 portals. So if you're not already plugged into this, be sure to join. There is a customer side. So you're going to get some extras as a customer, some extra training and videos about PCS software. But even if you're not a customer, you can join in our business growth portal, where you'll have access to all the webinars, all the content in one place, making it really super easy for you to continue to grow. One thing I do want to throw out there as an extra here is be sure to get your staff signed up for this. So if you're an owner and you're on this, or you're a manager and you're on this webinar, be sure to get your team members to also join the academy. There's so much great stuff in there. We want everybody to be able to learn and grow. And we do have a link for you guys to join. It's completely free. If you didn't already know this, it is a free, it's not going to cost you anything. You just sign up, you can log in and join. Our whole goal is to help you grow. All right. With that said, I want to introduce you to a couple of folks on our team that are on this webinar today. We have our lovely success consultants, Megan and Courtney, and they are just fantastic at helping folks figure out what is next, how to make more money, business consulting, facility planning, software advice. so on and so forth. So if you need any help with any of that stuff, these ladies will be happy to help you with that. And then, of course, I mentioned our lovely customer success team, our CSMs, Eileen and Tanya. They're amazing. Eileen, I can specifically say she ran and managed multiple FECs for a number of years as a Party Center customer for a long time before she came on with us. And she's been on with us for, what is it, Eileen, 6-7 years now? It's been a while.
6 years. Yeah,
6
definitely.
years.
Yeah. So, and I used the software 7 years prior to that. So yeah, cool.
Look at you. So she's a pro. So if you need to know anything about the facility, and she is also a genius at this online store and events. She helped with a recent resource release that we did where we shared a bunch of ideas for events that you can run, our online store resource. So be sure to tap into both of these lovely ladies. They have so many great ideas for you. And then, of course, we have the amazing Laura. She is our marketing manager here. She is the one that's behind all this content that comes out and all this great stuff. If you need anything marketing, sales related, content, growth development, she's your girl. Go to her. She'll help you out. And if we haven't met, my name is Rebecca Toomey, and I'm the Director of Sales, Marketing, and Customer Success here. I have my hands in a lot of different places. If you need anything, I'm happy to do what I can to try to help you to solve that problem. So with all that said, I have a poll question for you guys. So if you left because I was boring you with all of this, jump back on your screen. I'm going to launch a poll because I want to know if you yourself have made any online store purchases this holiday season. So from, as early as Black Friday or even before Thanksgiving through to today, how many of you have made an online store purchase? Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart, Target, I could go on. I like to shop online too. All right. Everyone has answered the question. Are you guys ready for this? What do you think the result is? 100% of people said yes. 100%. Every single person has shopped online this holiday season. Why? Because why not? It's the easiest way to shop. And I know so many of us are looking for things that we can get last minute that's delivered before Christmas. Many of you may be scattering around going, what can I get from Amazon that comes before? Or what can I get from this store that comes before? It is most certainly the place to be right now. And we're going to talk about some stats on this. So we're going to start out with, why should I open an online store? Well, I think the last question kind of answered that for us because we're all buying online. But here are some stats for you about first impressions. 97% of people learn more about a local company online than anywhere else. Because where else are they going to learn about you, right? These days, online. They're going to search. They're going to, check you out. 88% of searches for local businesses on a mobile device either call or visit the business within 24 hours. So if they're looking for you, they want to visit, they want to come to your facility. So they're going to use the power of the internet for some of this stuff. Now, how many people shop online? More than 263 million American consumers shop online. That's 79% of the population. So 80% of our population is shopping online. I don't know the age. Does it say the age of the survey, Laura? Because I would imagine this starts, 13, 12-year-olds are shopping online for their family members.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm not even sure what demographic this includes.
Well, it looks like on the side, millennials are the largest group of online shoppers, but I would say that everybody's kind of on board with this at this point,
Yep. Millennials, 25 to 34 are the largest group of online shoppers right now. They also happen to be of the group where many of our parents are falling into these age groups for birthday parties. So it just goes hand in hand with your birthday party business. Your online store is going to be another place where these folks can go spend their money. In 2022, US e-commerce sales will reach 1 trillion. 54% of consumers prefer to shop online, which I think is probably going to rise again when this study comes back around again, especially after COVID, most people had switched a lot of their shopping to online shopping. The number of global online shoppers is predicted to rise. So there you go, 62% from 2014 to 2021. So it's on the rise, it's growing. These are a couple of pretty obvious, but great reasons to have an online store and to really focus on your online store. It's 24/7. We know that people like to shop at odd times. I don't know about you, but I'm a PM shopper. So 10 p.m., 11 p.m. is a great time for me to do my shopping. Unfortunately, a lot of other people like to do their shopping at that time. So sometimes I run into problems on these websites that we're all overloading the system at the same time. I broke Macy's on Cyber Monday, unfortunately, but that's okay. You can reach a larger pool of customers by having your online store. And then you're also able to collect better data on the actual items that you sell. So say you sell products in your store, say you sell branded t-shirts in your store. Sure, you can keep track of that, but you can also keep track online. Well, when are people making this purchase? Is it in tandem with an admission ticket? Is it in tandem with a birthday party? Are they just going on here after they've had 5 days after they had a birthday party and saying, we had such a good time, we want to go buy some branded shirts? This is just an example, but it's going to allow you to collect some better data on all of this. Now, how do you set up an online store? Well, Laura is going to tell you.
Awesome. Thank you, Rebecca. And guys, before I get started, let me know, what are you drinking in the chat? I'm on tea right now, trying not to get caffeinated after like 2 p.m., but what are you drinking? Coffee, tea? Do you drink both? Let me know. So how do I set up water? That's probably the better choice. How do I set up an online store? So there's a couple steps in this process that we're going to go over. First of all, some product examples. Now, before I go through these, if you already have party packages, you might want to look into some of the elements or items, add-ons that you have in that package and consider whether or not those could function as standalone products in your online store. So here are a few examples. Admission tickets. So if you have a Meet with Santa event coming up or a New Year's party for kids coming up, selling tickets through your online store is a great option for you, even for virtual events too. Some of our customers, unfortunately, have not been able to open their doors up, or, there's back and forth restrictions on capacity and so forth. So we've noticed since COVID that a lot of customers do virtual events, and that's another great thing that you can promote through your online store. Branded merchandise, of course. So if you have t-shirts, if you have a trampoline park and you're selling trampoline socks, branded merchandise, you could have that as a standalone product on your online store. Gift certificates, gift cards. So we just mentioned our digital gift card offering, and you can definitely push that through your online store, especially this time of year when people are in the giving mood. It's the giving season, so it's a great gift option to push. Players cards and passes and redemption center items. So I'm going to go back to player cards though, because Eileen, when she was managing her facilities, she would do like combo deal packages where you get an entree and a $10 player card for a flat fee. So Eileen, tell us a little bit about how you came up with this idea and some other products that you would sell via your online store.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing that was best about this was they could get any type of, we had a full service restaurant. So we knew that if someone came into our facility, they were worth a certain amount of money to us every time they walked in the door. So we come up with this promotion where they got a $10 players card. And at that particular time, I was using Embed, but you can use Intercard, Embed, they all can help you the same way. And we would mark these cards food and fun. And so it was $15.99 and they could get any entree on our menu. Now, if you don't have a full service restaurant, you could do a pizza, you could do something, that makes you unique, that's your best food product. And then I put this $10 players card with it. And what I would see is people would come in for this steak dinner or for this chicken dinner or whatever, and they would spend their $10 within probably 30 minutes. And then they'd reload that player's card with $20. So every one of these food and fun that I sold brought me back an extra $20, and I could track it by going into the embed system and look at it and see exactly how much money these cards made me. And what was also cool was because I think we used Pepsi products. And so I negotiated with my Pepsi people to do me some table tents. So I had these table tents everywhere with all this language on it. So I mean, you couldn't miss the special. I ran it on Facebook. I ran it. Well, I don't think we had Instagram. It wasn't that popular then, but now it is. So you could do it on Instagram. You could, put it everywhere. I had the big signage in the restroom, as they were coming out the door. I mean, places that you just don't think that you need to advertise, put it up there so they see it and know that, that this is a special that they can have. And, and so I didn't run, a lot of times people do this on Groupon, but I didn't run it on Groupon. I ran it on my own store so that I got all the dollars.
Yep. That's the way to do it, Eileen. I wanted to jump in too. You mentioned admission tickets, and I know you're going to talk about this a little bit later, Laura, but it is the time, if you're not already doing this on your online store and you haven't already done this specific event, tickets for Santa, tickets to see Santa or reindeer or whatever it is that you want them to see, to take pictures with, you could make some great money. We watched somebody make about 20 grand from that alone, from selling tickets on their online store to come to their day where Santa was there. So, sometimes it takes a little bit of thinking outside of the box, but also characters. Laura mentioned virtual characters. I don't know legally what I'm allowed to say, so I'm going to say my daughter's favorite character is an ice queen. And I know people will pay $200 to have an ice queen on camera speaking to their child. So
absolutely.
Just some things to consider, extra revenue that you could push through. So maybe you only sell 5 meetings with the ice queen, 5 times 200 adds up. That's some extra cash for you.
Right. Absolutely. And your staff will dress up. If you can't get a really, really good Santa, put your staff in an elf outfit. You know what I'm saying? Go. I mean, or a ice queen outfit.
Hey, everybody's got that costume by now, I'd say. Or you could go pick it up at Walmart for $20.
Absolutely. You got to think outside of the box, as you all say, and you got to work with what you have. So if your staff is willing to do it, then you could probably do it. And there are a lot of different examples that we'll go through as we continue on with this webinar. So we wanted to shout out one of our customers, Shelly Bounce. They have a great online store. And these are just some of the items that they have included. So you could see the gift card is right up here. They also added postage and handling for the gift card. So that's another thing that you're going to want to consider, is adding postage, handling, or shipping fees as line items in your online store. The other thing,
you could fold it into the cost of the item. You can kind of do it 2 ways. It depends on your demographic. Some people are very sensitive about paying extra for shipping and handling, so you may just want to build it into your pricing, where other markets, all right, I've got to add the shipping and handling for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there's more than one way. And arguably, if you add shipping into the price of the product and just up the price, people would prefer that rather than knowing that you're paying extra for shipping. So you can experiment there. But
now this is also because he's sending physical, he's sending a physical card. Shelly Bounce, call me. We'll get you digital cards. You won't have to do this.
Exactly.
But there's a lot of different things that you can add into your online store. And it's good to be detailed and descriptive and make sure that, you know, the customer doesn't have a million questions for you. It's everything is in one place and it's clear. And they do a great job of that. So trampoline socks are there, branded trampoline socks. And on the side over here, you see the Wednesday Family Bounce special. So you see how detailed it is. It explains that you have to pre-purchase. This discount is not available at the front desk. So that's a great way to push people to your online store. They include some information about the meal, some information about submitting all of the bouncer names in advance. So just be detailed. That's the number one takeaway from this example. The other thing is, as you add items into your online store, you're going to want to consider your target demographic and what they're going to want to buy. So you want to make sure that you look at your Google Analytics and Tag Manager for this information, as well as your online booking software. What is the most popular day that people book a party? Maybe you can run a promo through Facebook on that day and push people to your online store. So you got to make sure that you spend time with data and look at that and see what kind of products you can push through your online store and what would really win with your customer base. If you don't really have a lot of data to go by, let's say you have a new facility, you're still learning kind of how things are going, check out our online booking study. We're going to do a new one for the last year in February. So February 2022, give us a little bit, but it's going to come out. But this 2020 online booking study has a lot of great data from, you know, how early in advance before a party date do people book the party? Who's booking the most parties, moms or dads, and all this other data. There's a lot of wealth of information in this ebook, so be sure to check it out. So another thing you're going to want to consider as you build up your product list in your online store is seasonal changes and holidays. So Rebecca mentioned meet with Santa, take a picture with Santa, take a picture with the reindeer, take a picture with the elves. There's so many different holiday options, especially around this time of year. And this is a great example from Magic Sky Play, another one of our customers. They're doing a New Year's Eve party for the littles, for all the little kids. So it's at 3 p.m. They're going to do a balloon drop, countdown, live DJ, music. I mean, this sounds like a lot of fun. So this is just another example of how you can, you know, put in the upcoming holidays into your online store and offer timely products that people are going to want to buy.
I love this. I also wanted to throw Eileen out there. She used to do a party like this at noon for the little kids. So it was like midnight, the same time, but at noon. And I thought that was so cool.
That's so cute. I love that. So yeah, there's a lot of different creative things that you can do, especially around this time of year and the top of the year, where we see the most parties getting booked and the most kind of events happening in general. So as I mentioned before, you gotta be detailed with the online store. As you're setting it up, great pictures. A picture says 1,000 words. So make sure that you give pictures of that branded merchandise. You know, if your shirts and your socks look comfy and cool and the print of your logo is really nice, people are going to be inclined to buy that. If the food looks tasty, pictures of the food look great, people are going to want to buy that as well. So just think about those pictures, as well as detailed product descriptions. People want to know what they're buying, so you want to be detailed. And again, as we mentioned earlier, shipping or pickup info if necessary. If it's a product that you don't want to do shipping for, you want folks to pick it up, make sure you add that language into your online store. So going back to Shall We Bounce, if you look specifically on some of the language that they use, they're super, super detailed. I mean, even down to the trampoline socks, they said, socks cannot be mailed with gift cards. If you want to add socks, do this, do that. Like, you want to have that direction there so people know what to do and you're not getting 100 phone calls with, questions. So just make sure that you're as detailed as possible. Now let's move on to the fun stuff. How should I promote my online store? So you got the online store, you're convinced, you opened up an online store with PCS. and you got that going. How do you promote it, and how do you push people to make purchases through your online store? So first of all, update your website. This is very important. Let's check out some of the stats here. 38% of people will stop engaging with a website if your content or layout is unattractive. 39% will stop engaging if it just takes too long to load. And almost 50% of users say that they use Google to discover a new item or product. So your digital presence is really, really important in this sales process. You want to make sure that you have a functional website and it's easy for your customers to find the information that they need. So this is another example of Shall We Bounce. We just love them over here.
But their website is so fun. I love the colors.
It's so fun, great colors, and just a great functional design. So if you look at the very top, they have 2 headers, which is a nice kind of separation of information. You might want to consider that as you build out or improve your website. And it's very easy to find the information that you're looking for. Attractions, bounce with us, book a party, class schedule, get started. And then up top, you have location and hours, the waiver, contact, the phone number. So it's just very clear, and it's right up there, and it's impossible to miss. Similarly, if you look to the middle of the page, you got a button right in the middle that says click here to book a party. Down below, you have questions, directed questions at the visitor. So got a group, book a party. First time here, sign a waiver. So you just want to make sure that you make it easy for your customers to book a party. And if your website is functional, then you will see those sales trickle in. Another example, HyperKids. So same as Shall We Bounce, they have great buttons right at the very top of the website that are clear and they explain exactly what the customer has to do. So sign a waiver, here's our number, check out our party packages, hours, buy tickets and passes. I mean, I know that I might sound like a broken record here, but it's really important to have the book now button or buy this or check out our online store buttons at the very top of the page. If there's one thing that you take away, and if you don't have that already, please do that, because it really does help and it makes that experience of purchasing through your website a lot easier for your customers. And another very important tip, and this is taken from our 2020 online booking study, is people book parties from their phone. And it's this stat of 72% that use mobile to book a party is growing year over year. So I'm excited to see the stat for 2022, because I have a feeling it might have hit 80 already, because people just we're all on our phones. So people are looking for your facility and they're checking you out on Google Maps, they're checking you out on Facebook using their phone. So you want to make sure that your website is mobile friendly. One tip that folds into this is make sure that you check out what your website looks like on different phones. So iPhone, Android, different web browsers, not just Chrome, but other web browsers that people use, to make sure that it looks okay and the buttons align and everything is easy to use. So it's very important to be mobile friendly. Now, along with the website, you want to consider starting a blog. So check out these stats. 47% of buyers view 3 to 5 pieces of content prior to engaging with a sales rep. 70% of people say they'd rather learn about products through content versus traditional advertising. And that the average company that blogs has 55% more website visitors than those who don't. So sometimes we get a little bit of pushback when we say, hey, have you considered starting a blog? Because yes, starting a blog can be a lot of legwork up front, but there's a smart way to do it. You can, for instance, pull in one of your staff members and make it a professional development opportunity for them. Like, hey, let's see what your writing's like. Let's start to do a blog about these certain topics and, pull them into that strategy. Or potentially you might want to look into hiring a marketing person to do it part-time, whatever your budget allows, but work with what you got and try to start small at least. Even if you do one blog a month, that's going to generate a lot of more traffic to your website, and folks will see that online store and will want to buy. So the proof is in the pudding. And yes, marketing tends to be a J curve. So you're going to whittle at this for a while before you really see that traffic spike. But trust me, it's going to happen. At some point, it's going to happen. A lot of things with marketing are all based on consistency. So if you're consistent with posting on social media, if you're consistent with blogging, you will see those results over time. So shall we bounce again? Well, they had a great blog about adult trampoline fitness, and I really wanted to shout them out here because this is so cool. They have a fitness instructor that comes in once a week to teach an adult trampoline fitness class, and so they wrote a blog about it. And guess what? You can add a call to action in this blog that links the reader to book that class, right? So this is a great way to just invite people to check out your blog and then direct them to the online store. Here are a few blog topic examples with calls to action that you could do on your own website. So holiday season is coming up. Top holiday gift ideas for friends and family, right? You could do a blog post, and number one on that list would be get a gift card from us, come to our facility. This is a great gift, around this holiday season to give to someone. So you can easily add that as a call to action in your blog and then link people to buy that gift card, gift certificate through your online store. Family-friendly event ideas during the holiday season. Again, come meet with Santa. We're doing a meet with Santa. Come check out, this or that at our facility. We have a lot of events going on. We have a New Year's party going on, and then direct people from that blog to click into your online store and buy that ticket to meet with Santa or go to your New Year's Eve party. And lastly, entertainment for kids near whatever location you're in, be that, near Dallas, your city or neighborhood, whatever people are searching for. Families are always looking for different fun events or ideas to do in their area, or maybe if they're traveling somewhere else, they're tourists, right? They're going somewhere for the holidays, in that area. What's going on in that area that I could do with my kids? That's a lot of fun. So be sure to rep your local area and use that throughout your website, because you will start to rank on Google. And hey, this is another great place to put in a call to action and move people to buy from your online store. That's what we want. So let's take a step back here for a sec, because I'm given all this information, but it's really important to be organized, right? So we always recommend starting a marketing calendar. And again, even if you can only post on social of a limited amount because you're just getting started and maybe don't have a staff member that's taking care of that for you, or if you're just starting to blog and you can only really do one post a month, it's all good. Just make sure that you do that on a consistent basis and you start building a calendar so that everything is aligned. So you're going to want to name a lot of the monthly events that you want to promote for and put that on a calendar and share that with your team. So for instance, we use Google Calendar. That's a great and easy way to share stuff across the team with each other. So you might want to start there. Then you want to also specify when you're going to market those events and how far in advance. So Christmas is coming up. You have a Meet with Santa event coming up, let's say next week. You want to make sure that you promote that several weeks in advance, even at the top of Q4 of the year, right? When people are looking to book these sort of things for their kids. For promotions or discounts, you're going to want to schedule the release right before the promotion begins, because if you do it too early, people are going to lose interest. If you do it right before the promotion starts, people are going to get mad, like, hey, why didn't I know about this? So you want to make sure that you have a calendar in front of you and you have all of these things, put together, so that you give each event the necessary marketing promo time that it needs to push people to buy. This is an example of Crazy Laura's calendars. I have a bunch of calendars. And I do this because, as you all know, we have a huge volume of content. I mean, we post on social every day. We post to the blog 3 times a week. We do ebooks and webinars like this every month. So there's a lot that we do over here at PCS, and I need to make sure that I have multiple calendars so I keep track of it. But this is just one example. So the larger calendar in the back is my Instagram post calendar. So you can see here that I have a lot of stuff scheduled out in advance. The items in like the darker blue color are events, like trade shows that are happening. So I have promos going out like a week or 2 in advance of that event, so people know, hey, we're going to be here. Come visit our booth or come say hi, stuff like that. On the right-hand side, you'll see the marketing calendar. And here I have all the blogs and all the topics that we're writing about. So this just goes to show, like, you can use an Excel to build your calendar. You could do it through Google. Whatever you do, just make sure you have a calendar. And this is an example of our monthly events calendar resource that we have for you. So you can go ahead and download this. And it has a bunch of monthly event ideas throughout the course of the year that you could do an event for, and products that you could sell through your online store based on those events. So we really recommend downloading this ebook. Next, social media, very important. So you want to make sure that you optimize your social pages so that they perform well and that you use them as a vessel through which you promote that online store. So on Instagram, for instance, if you go in your bio, you can put a website link in your bio. So we recommend, linking directly to your online booking page, or in this case, your online store. If you're promoting something specifically that you want customers to buy, make sure that link is in there and it's easy for people to access. Same with Facebook and all of the other platforms. Next, show off your products. So post great pictures of your food, or post pictures of how you're preparing for the New Year's Eve party or meet with Santa, behind the scenes stuff, just cool things like that to get people excited and want to buy that ticket or buy that product. And lastly, make sure that everything is up to date. So this is super important. And even with your online store, as you're updating things over time, you want to make sure that you keep things fresh, right? So if a holiday is coming up, you want to make sure that you push all those products up to the top of your online store, and that people, see, oh, hey, there's a new product here that I can buy. There's an event coming up that I can buy a ticket to. That's very useful in that you want to keep making sure that people know that you're updating things as well. Similarly, on your social, you want to make sure that all of your information for your online store is up to date as well. And as I mentioned beforehand, it's important to be consistent when it comes to all marketing things. Whatever activities that you perform, consistency is key. So you're going to want to set goals like, hey, I want to sell X amount of this product for my online store. You want to set that goal and build a process around that goal, how you're going to achieve that goal, right? So I'm going to post about this product, X times a week, or I'm going to do an ad on Facebook, or I'm going to do this or that. It's very important to build a process around that goal and how you're going to achieve that goal. Be consistent and get creative too. There's a lot of cool ways and cool products that you could offer, and just interesting things that you could do to push people to buy from you. And if you need some ideas, we have a couple good resources for you. So how to use Instagram. Instagram is great because it's basically just a huge photo gallery, and you could just pop photos of your products on there super easily, and people will want to buy. And now there's a lot more features for small businesses on Instagram that I definitely would look into. And oops, went too far. And automation is key here too, because if you want to be consistent, not only do you need a plan, you also need to, over time, give yourself less work. We're all super busy. And take it from me, the marketing person, it can become a lot sometimes. So you want to make sure that you use tools. There's a lot of awesome tools that help to make this process a lot easier. So don't be afraid to reuse content. You might offer similar products throughout the year, or at different, every Christmas you might want to do like Meet with Santa. Keep those graphics handy so you can reuse them for the following year and maybe just tweak dates and information like this. But keep templates, copy, all of these things handy so that you can continue to reuse that content throughout the year. And like I said, use tools like Facebook Business Suite, Sprout Social, Hootsuite. There's so many different social scheduling apps out there. And there's a lot of cool things that can make your life a lot easier while you're, promoting these events. And don't forget to track those analytics too. So explore those social media insights. All of the tools that I mentioned before, they provide a lot of analytics and insights that you can just easily access and see, whether or not this promotion is doing well or not. And if you're active on Facebook and you have your website, be sure to install Facebook Pixel. And this is a great thing that allows you to track, what customers are looking at on, it allows you to track what customers are looking at on Facebook, as well as it allows people that have visited your website to see your products, online products, pop up on Facebook if they go back on Facebook. So it's basically a code that you can add into your website that just makes the promoting aspect on Facebook a lot easier for you as a business. And of course, make that data actionable. So we mentioned exploring your insights because you want to make sure that you look at the data and then you use it. You don't just want the data to sit there. You want to look at it and really analyze and think about what it's telling you so that you can use that information to just make your promotions all that more stronger. And if you need some help with graphics, we're not all Photoshop experts. We're not just about to start learning Illustrator over here. Use Canva. Canva is a great design marketing a tool that makes it super easy peasy to create templates. It even has pre-made templates that you could use for everything from your email to Instagram posts and all that great stuff. It actually has a bunch of great templates for online stores and how to sell online products. And you could just add in the image of the product and you have a beautiful template that you can use. So we really recommend looking into Canva. This is actually just one example on the side here of a grand opening. And you see how beautiful this flyer looks. You could do business cards, you could do so much. So you can try Canva free for 30 days if you head over to this link. This is our affiliate link with Canva. So you can go ahead and head over here to check it out, try it. Tell us what you think. And so the last element of promoting your online store is going to be email, right? So you want to make sure that you follow up with your guests with email, like whoever visits your facility, if they're looking for if they visited your facility and they had a great time, you want to make sure that you follow up and ask them for feedback. You can even use that as an opportunity to push other party packages and events and things in your online store, right? So you want to make sure that you have some sort of strategy there for following up with your guests. And as I mentioned before, data will fuel your sales and marketing activities. So if you look at the data, you'll be able to use that information to just create better emails and better social posts and just a better channel sort of through which customers will go to your online store and buy from you. So if you are a Party Center software customer, you're probably familiar with our reporting system. But if you're not a PCS customer, we have this great report called the Customer Detail Report, where you can pull information, pull data about your customers, and you can get specific things too, like whose birthday is coming up and their age range and so on and so forth. So we recommend that you pull this data from your online booking software and you create email campaigns that just go out to folks with an upcoming birthday, for instance, and say, hey, do you want to book a party with us? I see your birthday's coming up, you'll get a discount. And then they're pushed to purchase a party package. But you can do this with your online store too. You can do this by either pulling the birth month or just pulling this information and importing it into an email platform like MailChimp or Constant Contact and pushing promos that way. There's a lot of great things that you could do with that data. And this is kind of what we mean when we say you want to make sure that data is actionable. This is an example from one of our customers, Bounce Safari. They're doing a Happy New Year promo. They're doing a New Year's countdown to at noon, which Rebecca mentioned earlier, on December 31st. And they're doing this for all of the children, similarly to Magic Sky Play and the example I said beforehand. So this is a great email. You know, they made it clear, they explained the price, they link to their online store, and you want to make sure that you have email campaigns like this going out with those promos. So again, you want to pull that data that's very valuable, put it into a platform like MailChimp or Constant Contact, and schedule out these emails in advance and create templates as well to make your life easier, and just have those going out, you know, every year before the event happens. So if you need more examples of how to just build a concrete marketing plan for your FEC, go ahead and download this resource. This is our Marketing 101 resource. So if you need more examples, we got you covered. Everything is in here. So I kind of went over all of the promo ideas, but there are a few more tips that we have for you. So as I was researching the online store ebook, which just came out, which I'll announce in a sec, but it just came out this week. We created an online store ebook that just captures all of this information. And as I was preparing for this webinar, I found a lot of information about this, creating a sense of urgency with your online store. So you may want to do like flash sales, you know, 2 days, you only have 2 days to get this deal. Head over to our online store now to buy these tickets or buy this product. You may want to create like a limited stock announcement where, hey, we only have X amount of these trampoline socks. Get them while supplies last, stuff like that. So you may want to consider looking into ways that you can create that urgency so that you take away that buyer hesitancy and that you push people to buy from your store. We mentioned this earlier, consider adding a free shipping option. So that's another great thing that you can do that will push people to purchase if you're willing to deliver, of course. Adding a virtual tip jar. We had a lot of customers. I think, Rebecca, you can probably talk about this a little bit, but we had a lot of customers during the pandemic and whatnot. They added a little virtual tip jar just to help out. And a lot of customers are willing to donate because they love you and they love your customer service and they want to donate if you have that option available. So
absolutely,
that was a great thing too.
Absolutely. You can't go wrong with having a virtual tip jar. It's only going to help you to have something like that on your online store where people can go after the fact. Think about times where you've had really good service and you're like, oh man, I wish I could have given them something a little bit more. If you have it available in your online store, which Laura mentioned, when some people had to shut down their businesses and were literally closed, they said, you know what we're going to do? Let's do kind of a fundraiser for our employees because they're obviously not able to work and make money. They started a virtual tip jar, explained it with a lot of great language too, to explain what they're trying to do, raising money for their staff. You may use it as a way to kind of extra tip for great service or something, fundraise for new attraction, something like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's just another thing that you could add into your store, and it definitely pays off. And lastly, ask for customer feedback, and you can create a testimonial section if you haven't already on somewhere on your website, and just have it available because if folks, say, hey, I had a great time purchasing their online store was great, or I had a great time at their facility. This just kind of pushes more people to consider either buying a party package from you or heading over to the online store, going to your events, have people write a testimonial about how the Meet with Santa went, how the New Year's Eve party went. Even for those sort of events, you want to gather that feedback, not only to improve, but also to put a spotlight on how much fun people are having at your facility and how worth it that ticket purchase was. So all these things kind of work together to push people to buy from you. So let us know in the chat or in the Q&A, wherever you prefer. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer them.
Definitely throw your questions in for us, guys. What questions do you have about the online store, promotions, anything related to selling online? We're here to answer your questions. I did have a question that I answered already with the text version, Laura, from Cody. He said, regarding phones, are you able to develop an app for the store? Customers like convenience. Absolutely, they do. An app has been something that has been a feature request that we've had. So just so Cody knows, I added this to that queue. And I just wanted to mention, though, that with Party Center, if you do use a Party Center online store or even online booking, they are optimized for mobile. So that means if somebody is on Facebook and they see a link to your online store and they go to it, it will automatically adjust the size so that it won't be a weird experience for them to make that purchase. It'll auto adjust to the size of their phone, which is great. Sometimes I found that depending on the type of facility and what they're selling and what they're doing, sometimes people don't want to download an app for it. So just something to consider is, when that would be the right time to do that. Let me see. There's another open question came in here. Oh, you're welcome. Awesome. What other questions do you guys have about an online store? And if you don't, as you guys are thinking about questions, or if you're typing your question in, this has absolutely nothing to do with what we've been talking about, but more to do with helping you guys to save money. There are so many different money saving plugins and things out there if you're doing your own shopping. So look into some of those like Rakuten, Honey, Ibotta, all that stuff. If you're doing your online shopping, find some ways for yourself to save some money. That's my tip from me to you.
So we had a question come in from Jonah. Do you recommend any particular fulfillment company to create and ship logo products on demand versus building a product inventory, hand packing, and shipping?
That's a great question, Jonah. We currently don't have a list of any fulfillment companies that are doing things like that. However, that is a fantastic idea. I saw Eileen pop on. She might have somebody.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, when I ran my facility, we used Redemption Plus and we used Fun Express, and there were several different places like that that can get your logoed items for you fairly inexpensively. And at one point in time, I thought that they were looking at a direct drop ship program, but I don't know if they've actually succeeded. But Redemption Plus, Fun Express, those are good places to possibly start because they're in this particular industry.
Great thoughts, Eileen.
Yeah. Now, another thing too that I was going to bring up is, and I forgot it. Isn't that terrible? But it'll come back to me. It'll come back to me in just a minute. Oh, Sierra products too are good with sippy cups and bowling centers. I see Cody just gave us some.
Cody just threw something there. Sierra products are good for sipper cups for bowling centers with your logo.
Definitely shout out to Redemption Plus. They have come out with a couple new features too that just make ordering and reordering easier. I know rapid order is now a thing, and they let you know like what they have in stock, and they're just definitely they have a lot of great features that make that easier.
I'd actually like to give a shout out to Rush Order Tees. I don't know if anybody's ever ordered from that company before, but this t-shirt that I'm wearing, Laura's wearing it, Eileen is wearing it. We ordered t-shirts from them. Now, I will say in the promotional world, they may be on the higher end. It depends on your quantity, right? The more that you order, the higher the volume, the less you're going to pay for it. And obviously, if you're not in a rush, it's not going to cost you as much money. But what I really liked about this company is we got the t-shirts, and I ordered a style that was a little smaller. And by a little smaller, it ran probably 2 to 3 sizes smaller than a normal woman's shirt would. And I put in a ticket with them, and they reprinted our entire order on different shirts. They said, you know what, we'll take care of you guys. We'll reprint this order for you. So I had a good experience with them, just to pass along somebody to do branded shirts.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so if anybody on the team needs a new shirt, let me know.
They're very comfortable, and it's a really nice print.
Nice.
Definitely. They had a lot of different options. And so you can kind of shop what works for you, what works for your budget and your price point, but they were easy to work with. There's a lot of different print and promotional companies out there. What other questions do you guys have? I know Laura has a great resource for you on her next slide, I believe it is.
Absolutely.
She put together an entire resource on this, you guys.
Yeah, so if you don't want to hear me talk, you could just read it.
It's actually this webinar on steroids, though, I would say, Laura, because it's this information plus a ton more with actual ideas, specifics and things like that, right?
Yeah, and I couldn't have done it without Rebecca and Eileen. Eileen is the queen of good ideas. So there's a lot of, things that she did at her facilities in here as well. So just a lot of creative product ideas that you could put up in your online store.
And just to go back to Eileen and Tanya, if you ever want to pick their brain and just chat through and brainstorm for some ideas, they're always available to help with that. I know they love that. I'm volunteering you guys, right, Eileen? You love it though. Yes. To talk through some ideas and say, hey, why don't you do this? Or I think this might look better. Sometimes it helps to have that second eye to look at things for you and say, you know what? I might change this, or I might do this. And that's something to think about too, as you're creating your online store. What would you want it to look like? What would you want the experience to look like as a consumer? We know that as parents of little ones, if I'm going to look at something, I want to see pictures. I want to see what that item is going to look like and a description. What does it come with? Like Laura mentioned earlier. So think about it from that perspective. What would you do? What would you put yourself in your customer's shoes, but then also get a second opinion from someone that's outside of your purview?
Mm-hmm. And one other thing I wanted to add, which Eileen mentioned earlier before we even started the webinar, is you want to make sure that you don't load your online store with too many options either. Kind of treat it like a restaurant menu. You don't want like 100 different options. You want to excel at the food that you're good at delivering, right? And you want to make sure the quality is there. And the same is true for products. And you want to rotate based on seasonal changes, based on upcoming holidays. You want to make sure that your online store is getting constantly updated. So that's something to consider too. Cody asked a question about gift cards. Are the gift cards fully digital, and how do they work?
No problem, Cody. We're going to give you a call to talk about this in more detail. I know Tanya has it on her radar. Yes, they are fully digital. We have a physical and digital gift card option now that just got released. And the digital option works by if you have this available in your online store, someone can go on and purchase it, and they enter in who they want to send the gift card to, who it's coming from. They can enter a message, and it will digitally send them a barcode to their email, which can then be used inside of your facility. So that's the basics, the quick version, but we can show you a little bit more about the technicalities and what that looks like, the different options, etc. The cool thing though, is that you could also issue somebody in store a physical gift card and email that version of the gift card to them too. So they have both.
And Rebecca, if they lose that email, you can resend it.
Absolutely.
Very easily.
Resend it.
Yeah.
Yep. So lots of great options. We'll give you a call, Cody. He said, I'm interested to hear about that. We still use paper gift cards. Hey, we can help you out there.
Crumple those papers up. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have any feedback or have any topics you'd like us to discuss, please be sure to email marketing@partycentersoftware.com. This podcast is a weekly podcast, so you can expect new episodes every Thursday. Party Center Speaks is powered by Party Center Software. We are a facility management tool that helps FECs and event venues book more parties and manage their facilities. We also offer marketing services such as custom website design and marketing automations to help you expand your reach and grow traffic. If you'd like to know more about us, head over to partycentersoftware.com and be sure to give us a follow at Party Center Software on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, TikTok, and at Party Center Soft on Twitter. Until next time, thanks for listening.